Welcome back to PERK'S reCAP. Back at it once again. We're giving a review of the AFC and NFC Championship games and a quick little preview to the Super Bowl as well. I went 1-1 in my predictions last week. The San Francisco game, the problem with that game, San Francisco against the Eagles, it really, once Brock Purdy got hurt, that game was pretty much over and everybody knew it. I mean, then they bring in their backup who was not effective at all, and he got hurt as well. And then they had no quarterback for the second half of this game, really, and it just was just horrible to see, really. It ruined what would have been, I think, a really, really good game if Purdy had been healthy the whole time. But you got to give credit to the Eagles. Unfortunately, they're not I'm not a big fan of the Eagles at all. Being a Cowboys fan. But you got to give them credit because San Francisco's defense was the number one defense in the league, and they still had some sustained drives against that defense. I know later on they probably got tired, so I wouldn't give them too much credit for later on. But early on, they scored 21 points. I know they also got a turnover, so it made one of those scores really easy. But either way, you got to give the Eagles all the credit in the world. And San Francisco really just came across bad luck with their quarterback. Like I said, it just ruined the game, and that kind of really took away from it for me. As for the Kansas City-Cincinnati game, that was a much better game, and I know that game is marred by the penalties that the Bengals committed. But the thing is, I've heard people saying they really hated the way that the game ended, that the officials ended the game on a penalty, basically, the late hit out of bounds. But I think you have to make that call. That call has to be made. I don't have a problem with the call. I don't want to see the game ended because of a penalty either. But that's a call you can't not make. That was a late hit, obviously. And I know another argument is, well, he's running full speed along the sidelines. How's he supposed to stop? The problem is he extended his hands. He pushed. If he didn't push and just kind of ran into him and tried to slow up and really made a visual, concerted effort that we can all look at to try to avoid hitting him, then I would have you'd have a much better case in my eyes of not making that call. But the penalty was there. It gave them 15 more yards and let Kansas City kick the game-winning field goal. I thought Cincinnati had all the momentum in the world. They were playing better, and I was concerned about the injuries on Kansas City's side. So I think my logic was sound, and I wasn't the only one picking Cincinnati. But you got to give Kansas City credit as well. Patrick Mahomes gutted it out. He wasn't 100%, obviously. But, you got to give them credit. So the Super Bowl's coming up. Kansas City, Philadelphia. Being a Cowboys fan, I don't want to pick Philadelphia. But as of right now, I'm going with the Eagles to win the game in terms of the spread and my overall, my official prediction. I'm going to wait for a week from today, Sunday, the day of the game, and I'll send out a 1-minute short like I've been doing all along here, and I'll have my official prediction then for that. But as of right now, that's what I'm thinking is Philadelphia. I really want the Chiefs. I'll be rooting for the Chiefs, but Philadelphia's got a lot of weapons. Mahomes has a couple more weeks to heal up. I think Hurts is 100% now with his shoulder. And I think Mahomes will be close to that, maybe 80, 85% in terms of his ankle. Should be good enough. So it's a good enough game. The problem is when Kansas City ran into some trouble with Tampa Bay when they lost the Super Bowl to Tampa Bay, it was because they got so much pressure on Mahomes. And I got a feeling that Philadelphia is going to be able to do that again. Now, Kansas City's offensive line isn't as bad as it was then. It's a little better now, but I still don't think it's good enough, especially against the best front in the league in Philadelphia. They get after the quarterback better than anybody. That might be another problem, especially if Mahomes' ankle is not 100%. And like I said, I think it's going to be pretty good, but maybe not 100%. I think, though, that it could cause them a lot of problems. So, again, I think my logic is sound in thinking this, but I hope I'm wrong. It's hard to go against Mahomes, to be honest. He's so good. He's still the best quarterback in the league in my eyes. But I'm going to go with Philadelphia right now. Again, my official prediction will be a week from today, around the same time, well before the game. And I'll give some more thoughts then, and that'll be a 1-minute short. And until next time, I will see you later.